I'm gonna give you a little trick, a little tip and trick. Tracey's tip and trick. When you're putting a transfer onto a piece of furniture and you've got it stuck down and you've rubbed it on and you're ready to start pulling that clear backing off, sometimes it's hard to get it to remove from the furniture piece. So you take your finger and you're like trying to scratch and try to lift that plastic up and it won't come away, right? And you keep scratching and you're afraid you're gonna scratch your painted finish. So just get a piece of the backing that came off the back side of the furniture and just stick it back behind there, just like that, and it just pulls it right up for you. Just slide it in, and then it pulls it up, and you can do this. All right, I'm gonna give you another little tip here about applying transfers. I tell this to people when I teach online all the time. There is a really, really easy technique to making transfers adhere successfully. So let me show you. It doesn't help to just rub the whole transfer and then you think you can just come and start pulling this off. That doesn't work. So what you need to do is you need to work in two directions. My transfer, I rub up and down, while this piece I pull against my stick, just like that. So I rub, but at the same time, I'm pulling against my stick. That way, if you pull away, see how a little bit of Alice's hair pulled away? It's not on her, but if I'm rubbing and pulling at the same time, it forces that hair down and then this piece pulls back. So that way you don't rip your transfer or tear your transfer. So work this stick up and down right on the line that you're pulling away from. You're welcome. When you're working on drawers, if they don't have a trim around them and you can actually butt your drawers right up next to each other when you're applying your transfer, that's fantastic. And this is a tip that you can use when you're doing that. So I put this transfer all over the entire piece, pushed it into place, and then I used my XOXO knife, this little razor blade here, and I just ran it across into this crevice here, all the way across, and I just cut my transfer completely in half. So here you can see that I can already open my top drawer and my top transfer is in place. And that's how I cut it. I didn't cut it before I put it on. So it's in place, it's ready to go. I can close that, and now I'm gonna start working on my second transfer. When pulling your transfer backing off of your piece and you want your transfer to adhere, it's really important that you make sure you've got really good adhesion of the transfer itself. So this is I've already done my top drawer. I'm starting on my second drawer. I've used my stick to rub and apply all over, but that doesn't mean I can come up here and grab this little corner and just start pulling because it hasn't really started to stick yet. You need to grab your corner and rub at the exact same time. You want to get it to start to release itself from that paper. And the best way to do that is to pull back and rub this outer edge of the entire image at the same time. All the way down to this little shoe and that side of the clock. Just pull against your stick. So stick is rubbing this way, sheet's pulling this way. I'm kind of rubbing into that fold of that backing paper, and then as you can see, my transfer released really easily. And then I'll just keep doing that all the way across. When you're working with a transfer and this backing sheet starts to get kind of big and in your way, yet you're pulling on that while you're rubbing the transfer at the same time. What I do is I cut it off. You just take your scissors and just remove it. Just get rid of this big floppy part, and then that way you can just keep moving with a smaller section in your hand, just like this. Left is the little mouse tail, but I actually think I'm just gonna, the tail stayed. So it's okay. If I really want to apply the tail, I can just push this back in place and then just use my little stick to release it to the side of the drawer there. You didn't really have to have it, but that is that. And there we go. The tail's now released and on the drawer.